Michele and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michele, Barack, this means so much to me. I am looking forward.
Vice President Kamala Harris receiving the endorsement of Barack and Michele Obama in a completely candid moment that was not staged at all. This is Harris consolidates support among Democrats days after becoming the presumptive nominee of the party. Now, this week, L.A. Congresswoman Sydney Kamlager-Dove joined Harris on the campaign trail in Indianapolis. She joins us now live. Congresswoman, welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you, too.
All right, so you got to spend some time with her this week. What'd you say to her?
I said, hello, congratulations. Are you excited to visit my sorority? And then we laughed and got on Air Force Two and went to Indianapolis and talked to thousands of members of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and really talked about the power of social, healthcare, and economic justice. Of course, the Vice President also talked about the historic achievements coming out of the Biden-Harris administration. And then there was ruckus applause because we were also listening to the woman who is going to be the next president of the United States.
So this is, more than just a politician. This is somebody you've known for a decade, somebody you consider a mentor. Can you talk to us about your relationship with the Vice President and what you've learned from her?
Absolutely. I've known her since she was the Attorney General when she was working on programs like Back on Track, which was for first-time drug offenders. Instead of going to jail or prison, they could get a diploma or find employment. This is the person who championed implicit bias training and really asked law enforcement here to wear body cameras to both protect them and the folks that they are working with. But I know her as a mentor, someone who has checked in on me regularly, has offered advice, has offered to work with me on things that are important to the state and to our constituents. She is a genuinely amazing woman. And, she's a stepmother like me, too. We have that in common. So it's been really thrilling to see this part of this new journey.
Republicans say that she's been a failure as vice president. They point to her being appointed to look into the root causes of immigration. They say that immigration's out of control. They are not impressed by her record. What do you say to them?
Well, immigration is out of control because they have poo-pooed all of the bipartisan immigration legislation that we have worked to put together because Donald Trump said don't do it because he wants Biden to have to run on that. She was tasked with looking at diplomatic strategies to address the root causes of immigration, and she and President Joe Biden have found $5.2 billion to invest in countries that are struggling with political persecution, violence, and acute poverty. We know if we are addressing those kinds of problems, folks are less likely to migrate here. She has been instrumental in that. We're talking about countries like Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, where we are seeing human displacement at a massive level. I just came back from Mexico. I was talking to the future president, President Sheinbaum. She was also talking about this, and we know that we have to work together and cooperate with one another to address it. So it hasn't been a failure. They should be looking at their own record.
So today we saw that Obama endorsement. Basically, the entire party has gotten behind her, including all of her potential rivals and potential VP candidates. Who do you want to see her pick as VP?
Oh, my goodness. That question is above my pay grade. I want her to pick someone who is going to respect her as the president of the United States, who will see them as her partner in addressing all of these issues, and who is willing to work with all of us, Democrats, Republicans, and independents, to push this country into a brighter future.
So no name?
I mean, there are a ton of names out there, and if she wants to know my opinion, she can call me. Obviously, Bashir's being talked about, Cooper's being talked about, Shapiro's being talked about, Whitmer's being talked about. Obviously, I think it's important that we are looking at the swing states. We know that there are about 6 of them that are incredibly important to us in the Democratic Party, but ultimately, it has to be someone who can work with her and wants to work with her and understands that the assignment is to be the vice president.
And in maybe a sentence, what does it mean to have a black woman at the top of the ticket?
It is glorious. And it's also, really important that we don't just rest on the excitement, but that we work really hard to get out the vote and to get her into office.
Congresswoman Sydney Kamlager-Dove, always great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.